I tried watching it this morning for a little bit, and then
We're back. I'm lucky enough to have Tim Montresor here. All right, we're about to check out Oakland taking on Impact. And this is a pretty important game for Impact. Now, Oakland has just been pretty much getting blown out.
yeah, I feel bad for them. They need to bring back the yellow fireman suits. That's what I was telling Gino a second ago.
Yeah.
It's just a year, just a total difference.
Yeah.
So they're smashing people this time last year, and now.
It's sad because they won this event last year, and now they're 0-3.
Yeah, and not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close in any of them.
Not even close.
So, and it's kind of a shame because of the talent that they have.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though, because honestly, it's not really that weird because they really haven't practiced,
Right.
you know, and then they don't have LB and then they got Gino back from retirement. We got just about 20 seconds for the start of this point, but they got Carl, they got Danny, they got Rusty. I mean, they have good players, you know, so.
Right.
It really doesn't make a lot of sense that they would at least be 0-3, or at least that those games would have been closer,
Right.
you know. But that speaks to the level of competition out there.
Yeah, I ran into Carl yesterday, and he goes, "Well, what are we missing?" And I'm like, "Well, how many times did you practice?" He goes,
Yeah.
"For about 30 minutes." Well, that ain't cutting it, man.
Well, that explains it. All right, so we're about to watch. Let's see if they can salvage some of their dignity right here. Here comes Glenn Takamoto. I mean, they just have these amazing players, so it just doesn't really make any sense that they would, even if they hadn't practiced. But I guess it does speak to the level of competition, you know?
Right. I mean, if you don't have any reps on the field and you don't know your shots, you don't have any plays set up, and you're just trying to survive off a skill, all the players are getting significantly better. Well, that's not cutting it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Penalty immediately on, I think that might have been Thompson. And Carl Markowski making a good little jaunt up in that center X. And here comes Danny Tiljack's going to polish that. Actually, that's Steven Lasher.
Putting the heat on him.
Yeah, so Steven Lasher polishing off that last player. And Glenn Takamoto grabbing the flag, so they look better there. It definitely helped out the Impact, got that penalty.
Yeah, this game in general is just important for them for the overall season. They have absolutely no chance of making tomorrow, but in regards to the rankings, they still need to have a strong performance.
Yeah, and then just for pride, man. You know? Just for pride and just for the fact that, they're defending the win from last year here and not doing a good job of it. So, I mean, and paintball means a lot to these guys, so, they're not going to want to go home 0-4.
No, especially not 0-4 the way that they've lost.
Yeah. Now, Impact, on the other hand, they need this game. They definitely need this game. As it sits right now, Impact is 1-2. And their plus or minus is even. So they've had 14 hangs for and 14 hangs against. So they really do need this win. There is a team that's probably going to be 2-2 that go on. But it's going to take, obviously. So Impact wants to win this game and win it big.
Right, because I think Dynasty's right there with them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how X Factor finished out, but I know that they were right there in contention as well. So the Russians and LA had already locked it up. I want to say Damage locked it up already. Assuming we beat the Night Dogs, which, all fingers crossed that we do, will put us in, and then I think X Factor is 2-1. I'm not sure if they played their fourth game yet.
X Factor is 2-1. Their last game is going to be against Aftermath at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's a big game.
That's a big game, yeah. And now Aftermath's 2-1 as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be decided here. If you're just tuning in, it's the inaugural PSP Open, or PSP event here at the Phoenix Open. And it's definitely going to have a new winner because Infamous has no chance. We got about 30 seconds for the start of the next point. I got Tim here from the All-Americans. Okay, now, so how do you guys feel? You look pretty good.
I feel good. We had a real bad game against the Russians, but I think it was a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Everybody came in. We had a big win against X Factor. Everyone was feeling the gung-ho, the pride. We're doing everything, and then we just got brought right back down to reality.
Yeah.
So, but it's good, though. I mean, it's always good for a team to get slapped in the face once or twice before you head into Sunday. So.
Oh, absolutely. All right, just a couple minutes. It looks like a minor penalty on both teams. We got about 15 seconds left before the start. So each team going to start with 4 players. And let's see if Impact can get in this. Again, must-win situation for Impact, and Infamous is completely out. But, again, wanted to win for pride. Let's see what they're going to do here on the breakout. Out there on the field, they got Arnold Francisco, Danny Tiljack, Carl Markowski, and Rusty Glaze for Infamous. They got Massey, looks like Josh Davey.
One of the Academic brothers.
Yeah, I think it's Zane.
Yeah.
Zach's in, Indonesia right now.
Yeah, him and Josh just went on a world tour, I guess, just to go travel.
Yeah, it is
weird.
Yeah, I know. We don't travel enough, as it is. All right, so Johnny Thompson's into Snake 1 for Impact, and he's trying to chop up down crossfield. He does. Carl Markowski and Rusty Glaze having a hard time getting out there. And here comes Justin Cornell.
He's been playing well on that side the whole weekend.
He has. He definitely has been playing well. Justin always plays pretty well. It was interesting, though. He had 2 one-on-one situations in the first game that they ended up losing, and he lost both those games.
Yep, to the Ironman.
Yeah, to the Ironman. One of them was like a really good one-on-one situation. I thought that, he played it very well. Look at that. They're just clean out the Infamous players.
It surprises me, though, that they moved him over there because the Snake on this field is so dominant, and he's probably their most aggressive player. I was just a little surprised to see him playing over there.
Well, maybe they put him over there, though, because even though he is the most aggressive player, the Snake is not necessarily the most aggressive side.
Right.
You know, it's like the guys that are doing well on the Snake side, I mean, yes, they are playing aggressive, as you always need to play aggressive in paintball, but they're playing smart aggressive.
Right.
Not that Justin can't do that, but
Right.
that Dorito side is a little bit more kind of like get your gun up, get to that next spot, you know, that sort of gunfighting
Right.
side, side. Whereas the Snake is a little bit more like get into Snake 1, you need to know your shots, play kind of smart. When you see the opening, get to the 50, like that sort of stuff. I mean, when you guys are out there walking the field, what are you guys talking about?
I mean, like we were discussing earlier, we kind of have a new agenda for this year. We're trying to be a little bit more aggressive. We know we can pull it back a little bit and pull some games out. Just like even yesterday against the Hurricanes, we were down a couple bodies and we pulled them back. But, you know, I really feel adamant that the Snake is strong. I mean, you have to really send some bodies through there.
I totally agree.
You just got to keep dumping them in there, which I think is going to be the downfall for some of these teams, that they don't have the depth on that side of the field. So the first guy dies, okay, then maybe your second guy goes in there. If he dies, and I mean, I don't see some of these guys getting in there to win some of the games. I think that ultimately that might be the downfall for a couple of the teams.
Yeah, I totally agree. It is going to be interesting to see how things start to shake out. But you're definitely seeing the teams that have prepared, you know, for the event, and you're seeing the teams that haven't really prepared for the event or just aren't quite, you know, getting to that next level. Right. It is cool to see your team, though, kind of progressing to the point where, and it was interesting, though, like when we were looking at the, you know, like, okay, are you front, mid, or back? Like, you know, everyone, there's only like 2 guys on your team that said anything but front. It's like front, mid, front, back.
We were actually talking about that the other day at dinner. Ryan brought it up. And, you know, with Todd retiring this year, we looked around and we were like, oh, man, how many of you guys really ever play on your feet? And everyone's just like, not me. Don't put me back there. So, I mean, by default, some people are being put in those positions.
Yeah. All right, so just about to start this next point. It's all even up at 1 apiece. 18-14 left on the clock. It's like Glenn Takamoto right there, bottom part of your screen, and that is Arnold Francisco getting out to the corner on the Snake side of the field.
Just making it out wide is huge on the field, because if that first guy doesn't make it out wide, you can really trap him in those pillars.
Look at Thompson. Thompson didn't make it out wide, trying to get out to the Snake. He gets shot. Josh Davey making moves up in that center. And then Justin Cornell is trying to get out to the back corner on the Dorito side of the field. He's able to do it. Boom, there's Arnold Francisco all the way into the Snake.
That's a great move right there.
Yeah, great move. Now, he doesn't have anyone to shoot cross field yet, but oh, no, there he got a shot across. Look on, maybe, did he get it? Might have bounced him. Seen a lot of bounces out there today.
Yeah, the weather's getting a little bit warmer. A lot of the teams don't take care of their paint.
I don't know what Justin was doing over there, just wilding out over the top of that. I don't think
too aggressive, maybe.
Yeah. And then you got Josh Davey in a little box, little triangle box over here behind Snake 1. Arnold Francisco trying to get a shot.
But I think that goes to show the teamwork that's required, because whoever was in the tower should have told Justin, hey, there's a guy that's about to shoot you.
Ooh, Danny Tiljack just coming through. Taking out Massey. He gets taken out himself, so he trades out with Massey, and it looks like it's 2-on-2 in kind of a bloodbath point here. It's Arnold Francisco still with dominant field position in the Snake here. Looking at
I think
Josh
it's Travis
Davey
in the corner. Travis Lemansky's out there.
Yeah, it is. Oh, but Travis catches one from Massey, and then, or I'm sorry, from
it's a one-on-one now. Arnold and Josh Davey. And Josh Davey's in a dominant position on his feet.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely in a dominant position on his feet, and he's gunned up over there. He's going to have to load in a second, though. Oh, look at that snapshot by Arnold Francisco. He still got it.
Yeah, he's still got some moves. Arnold's been around forever, too.
Yeah,
Arnold's been a good player for a long, long time.
Yeah, he came up under Bob Long. And he's been, you know, stunting for a while now.
Those first couple years of the NXL, when he was with Bobby, I mean, all those guys were just monsters.
And you're looking at Arnold right there on your screen right now. It's Arnold Francisco. Again, came up under Bob Long now, handling for Infamous. Been Infamous for a while. And he gives his team the lead. The score is now 2-1. 16:25 left on the clock.
Yeah, this game might kind of clear up a little bit of the Sunday cut. So I think if Impact loses this game, it really makes it a 3-legged race between Dynasty, I want to say X Factor.
X Factor and Aftermath, yeah.
So and then all the honesty, with no disrespect to any of those teams, Dynasty does have the Hurricanes coming in this afternoon, which the Hurricanes are in a little bit of a learning curve right now. So
now, as far as that learning curve goes, like look at the Bushwhackers. They got roped up for their first 2 games.
Yep.
And then came and I thought played a pretty good game. And I'm looking at their roster. It's like they got Greg Sewers, Neil Eberle, Shane Howe. Prince is pretty good. You know, I mean, they have good players on that team.
Right.
It's just a matter of it's the process of this format. You know, I mean, it's more than just individuals on the field. Of course, that's, and I always say I'm a big proponent of it. That's the biggest thing. But those intangible things, you know, that you just got to kind of have to deal with.
You know, for us, I believe that the infrastructure of the team is really kind of what defines us. Is that, again, like you're saying, there's a lot of good players, but it's who's the coach, who's the sideline coach, who has this duty, whose job is this, who's going to decide this. And once you kind of get that infrastructure, like with Excessive, once you guys define whose job is what, who has what duties, then everything falls into place. And I watched them in the pits, and they're still trying to learn who's going to hold the cards, who's calling the plays, who's doing this, and they're just running around. And when you don't have that infrastructure, you don't have that guidance. For us, once Jason Trozen became the guy, and we said, hey, Jay, you call it, you say it, and that's what it is. And we have Graham Easton doing a great job helping out. Hey, when Jason doesn't do it, Graham's going to do it, and this is what it is. And that's how it is. And it works. And they don't have that yet. Once they get that, same with the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are still looking for that.
Well, and it's tough, too, because it's not like it just comes overnight.
No.
You don't just walk out and be like, oh, here's our infrastructure.
Right.
No, you create it, you know. As you see the breakout right here, it's Impact trying to dig for the snake. Thompson getting in there, Johnny Thompson. And referee getting in there, checking him out. Ooh, minor penalty assessed on Infamous on the break. Looks like that was Carl Markowski getting that penalty, and Infamous is just catching paintballs left and right as Danny Tiljack comes off. Glenn Takamoto comes off, so it's just Steven Lasher left alive.
Not a good situation. Actually, he got a good shot on Justin Cornell over there.
Actually, they got 2 penalties that point. So 2 minor penalties assessed on Oakland Infamous that point. Who else there's in the box? Oh, Gino and Carl both got penalties, looks like on that Dorito side of the field.
It's a tough situation. Impact has the field spread pretty well on Steven over here.
It looks like Justin Cornell over there. And look at that. Looks like Josh Davey got shot in the pack and then took his pack off to check to see if he actually did get shot.
You never believe it when you get shit on the pack.
Yeah, no. Hey, dude, you're hitting your pack. No way. No, I didn't feel it. Come on, you're hitting on your pack. Just come off. Carl coming out of the box gets shot. And then Yakmek loses a gunfight with Steven Lasher.
If he's smart, he'll play the clock.
1-on-1 right now.
10 seconds left on the penalty.
Yeah, he needs to rush.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Did he just get caught? Let's see if he gets out of the box. Gino's about to come out of the box. Oh, he made it out of the box alive.
That sums it up right there.
Yeah, so nice point by Infamous, man. They got 2 minor penalties that point and
Slasher
somehow able to win it.
Slasher did a good job of killing the penalties, staying alive, getting a good shot on Zane over here.
Well, if Slasher hadn't have won that gunfight, then, this point would be over. I'm looking at the kill counts for Infamous. As far as they don't really have, obviously, because they haven't really been doing well at all, so their kill counts are pretty low. I mean, we're looking at Arnold Francisco. These are total confirmed kills. So, and again, if you guys are just tuning in, PSP's taken paintball to another level with the statistics, starting to catalog all those little parts of the game that really need to be need to be counted, so that we can take the paintball knowledge and take it out of the subjective realm and make it objective.
Right.
That's sport, okay? And so that's what we're taking paintball. So we're looking at the pits right now. That's Impact's pits. Pretty calm.
Yeah. They're a pretty calm team. They don't have a lot of the intensity. They know what they have to do. They go out there pretty calm and collective every time.
Yeah, and so like I said, with the statistics, one of the biggest, I think, statistics that needs to be out there is a confirmed kill. Now we're talking confirmed kills. It's not kill, okay? It's not the total kills. That's impossible, okay?
Right.
Paintball's very chaotic. A lot of things go on. But, I mean, how many times you watch in a game and you'll see, Tim win a gunfight? Boom. We got to count that, Right. So we've been counting those confirmed kills, and they're rather low considering, like how many total kills there are in paintball. But that's kind of the way that statistic goes. So getting one of those is a big thing, So you're looking at the kills. You got Tanny, you got, and then also it's interesting to see because you got okay, we know Danny's good, right?
Right.
But he obviously stands out because he has 11 total confirmed kills in those games, and the next closest person to him is Rusty Glaze.
Right.
So and Rusty actually took a while to get warmed up because he came into this event not being able to practice a lot.
Just like the rest of the guys.
Right.
So I'm a big fan of statistics. It does give us a definitive way of defining who's doing what, who's doing this. I mean, if your job's supposed to be go downfield and kill some people, and we look up here and you got 1 kill, Hey, man, you're probably not doing your job.
Yeah. We're also adding, so we got, total points played. We also have a new statistic called the game breaker. I mean, a lot of times you'll be watching a game and somebody has a good game. They run down, bunker a couple guys, shoot a guy in the back, cross field, grab the flag. And obviously it was that person that won that point as we're watching the break here. Stephen Lasher running out to the corner. So anyway, that's a game breaker, It's like a home run, basically.
I like that one.
There's not a lot of those either, but they're there. In fact, Danny Tiljack's the only one that has one on Infamous.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of game breaks. Honestly, you look at Glenn and Rusty, those guys, they make their slow, methodical moves down the field.
Yeah.
Losing JR kind of hurt a little bit in that aspect.
Well, and then you look at somebody like that. I mean, it's like look at baseball. Some guys hit a lot of home runs. Some guys hit a lot of doubles. You know what I'm saying? The guys that hit doubles are still effective.
Yep. But everybody likes watching home runs.
Exactly. All right, so look at that. Carl Markowski in the X. He is going to try to get a shot on the back snake player. He's coming back off there. He needs to be careful of that opening, though. And there goes Glenn Takamoto making that bump across the opening there, trying to get in the 50-line snake.
Yeah, he needs to get in the next knuckle and pretty much just come up and shoot that can, and it'll be over.
Ooh, so Justin Cornell catches the ball from looks like Rusty Glaze.
Yeah, pretty much sums it up right about now.
And then coming out of the box on that penalty, trying to wheel and deal. There's still two Impact players left, but pressing upfield, and here comes Carl Markowski trying to make moves, takes out Thompson, and doesn't have to run down Massey. Nice job by Carl Markowski. They need Carl doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
They need Carl making those moves.
Carl's an aggressive player, and a lot of times they do put him in a position to kind of sit back and try to control the pace of the game, which really isn't his style, and especially with the players that they have at the moment, they need him to be up in the mix a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. So Infamous looking good right now.
Yeah, if they would have looked like this last couple of days, we might be watching a different story.
If I was Impact, I'd be if I'm Bart in there, Bart Yakmak, their owner, I'd be kind of getting sort of irate. I'd be like, look, man, come on. If we win this game, Infamous is 0-3 right now.
Right.
And I know Impact's been practicing, so that'd be kind of frustrating.
They've always trained real hard, and they did lose quite a bit of people coming into this year. So you're not having Zach and Josh, which comprises 2 out of 8 guys, which is 25% of your team now.
Yeah.
So having them travel the world and wander the earth or whatever they're doing is a little difficult to recover from, I imagine.
So let's talk about your team a little bit. Coming off of that last event, I talked to Graham. He said he made you guys watch the webcast from World Cup.
I could have gone the rest of my life and maybe not watched the finals webcast. So, yeah, that hurt a little bit. That loss hurt actually a little bit more than the other one. I thought Pittsburgh was one of the worst losses because it was at home. But then World Cup, to have everybody excel to the level that they did, to train as well as we did, and to get so close, and then just drop the ball.
You guys kind of strike me, though, as like excessive right before we went on that win streak.
Yeah.
You guys are getting a lot of second places. People know you're good, and you're definitely on that cusp of that victory. It's just so frustrating to be on that cusp,
Yeah, it is. And at that point, I think it becomes the mental tenacity, and I know it sounds cliche to say that, but it's that swagger, that belief going in that you should win, that anything less than you screwed up. And every guy, it feels, is almost confident that we can get to the finals.
Yeah.
But then what are we going to do once we get there?
Oh, absolutely. So we look at a big break by Thompson heading up there to the right side of the X for Impact. They need to get something going here. They're down 3, 12-12 left. Sorry, 13-12 left.
I'll tell you what's hurting them on this side is the snake side, is that Thompson's not really getting in there consistently. And Arnold is just kind of chopping him up.
They're definitely winning the snake, but that's like you said, man. The snake side is really important.
Yep.
You dominate, and I mean that's kind of that is paintball cliche. It's snake side, but each snake's a little bit different. This one, not like a power dominant snake, but you just got to get guys in there playing aggressive, smart, but then keep filling bodies through.
Yep. You just got to keep dumping them in there because if you go in there, shoot 2 bodies, and then maybe get bunkered out, you take those odds because you're still 4-on-3.
Infamous looked real good at the beginning of this point, but now they're just dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Thompson, 5, he is in snake 1, but they still have, they got Glenn Takamoto over here. And Arnold Francisco trying to shoot at Impact, who's now looks like Justin Cornell has got onto Infamous' side of the field.
I don't know what Jason's waiting on. Thompson just needs to go down here and just stick Arnold on the back.
Yeah, I don't know what he's waiting for. Or just run the highway and take him down. Something.
But this is kind of what got them in trouble in a couple games. I don't know what they're waiting on, and then
like nothing's stopping Thompson right now.
Like the longer you let them play,
it's 4-on-2. You're down 3 points. time is ticking off. Like nobody's even shooting at Thompson right now.
I don't know what he's doing. And then especially with Glenn. Glenn's not up. There you go.
And his coach is right there. I mean, his coach should be telling him what's going on.
Yeah, that took about a minute longer than it needed to.
Well, he finally pulls the trigger.
Which there are a couple games I watched. I watched Damage and the Hurricanes. And one of the early points, I watched Carthy and Timmy and Holiday play against Billy and I want to say it was Thomas. And they just sat there, and they sat there, and they sat there, and they were up 3-on-2, and they had position. But I'm watching, I'm like, if Carthy makes a move just to trade, you're 2-on-1, you have position, and they just sat there, and they sat there, and they sat there. And then the Hurricanes won a 3-on-1 at the end.
Yeah, Thomas Mantoni pulled off that 3-on-1. What? I mean, we know that mentality, but walk us through what you're like. Why are those guys going so slow? Is they're not picking up those variables? The communication's not going across the field so people know what the situation is.
Yeah, it's a combination of that, and then it's the difficult problem comes with who has to make the move. Who has the ball? Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
who has the ball in their hands, and who's going to drop it? And in that situation, it was Carthy. Timmy was locked up in the Snake side. Holiday was locked up in the Dorito side. The guy needs to split the gap and come down the middle. And recognition of that situation is difficult. And that's kind of an experience moment.
Yeah, it's definitely experience. So where we're sitting at right now, score is now 4-2. Impact finally stepping up that point and making this a game. 11 minutes and 32 seconds left to play. It's going to be interesting to see. Next up, immediately after this game, we have Chicago playing the Bushwhackers, and that's two teams that have struggled.
Yeah. So Chicago's rebuilding, though. They picked up some of the Avalanche guys.
Yes.
Got new sponsors.
They got Sosine and Templeton from the Avalanche. Yeah, new sponsors. Lots of that going around, though, you know?
And I think that's going to be a defining moment right now in paintball is who has the sponsorship and who doesn't. So the Naughty Dogs are looking a little rough, but I talked to Rocky, and they didn't even have a paint sponsor coming into this event. So how can you compete against a team like the Russians that have been practicing for 8 hours a day for 3 months during the off season, and you don't even have paintballs?
Yeah.
So I think that this year we might actually see that level of teams become more definitive again, where you have the upper echelon, the middle, and the lower.
Yeah, because for a long time it used to be like Ironman, All-Americans, Aftershock, and then everybody else.
Right.
So we definitely might get to that point here, which kind of sucks for the sport.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, man. I mean, in times of crisis, then you got to find the biggest army to roll with.
But I mean, I guess that happens in every sport. I mean, look at the Yankees. I mean, they spend $250 million on people like it's nothing. How do you compete with the Pittsburgh Pirates who spend, their whole payroll is equal to A-Rod's pay?
Yeah, exactly. And that's been, an argument in that sport for a long time. It's definitely an argument in our sport as well. Looking at the cross-field lineup for Infamous, very well spread out. 5 across the field. They got Carl in the back. Carl Markowski's the fastest man in paintball, I think.
100%. I actually have known Carl for a long, long time, and he's always been the fastest guy in paintball.
Well, you guys played together on Tittman, right?
He actually came right after I left, but he was from that Midwest, Toledo, Detroit area. So. And
all of a sudden, here we go. Infamous starts chopping up Impact, looking to try to go up 3 points and make it 5-2.
Yeah, Impact's in a bad situation here. All Lasher has to. Oh, there we go.
And there we go. So looks like Carl feasted on Thompson, and he's going to run through. Oh, and get shot in the back of the head by Slasher.
Give him a little warning for stealing his glory.
Yeah. Don't take my kill.
Sometimes you got to do that. Yeah, Infamous is looking really good right here. They got 2 more points to go, 1st to 7. But, I think right now, just like we're saying, it is a pride game for them. It's hard to come out. It's really, really hard to come out. We actually had that situation come last year. We were 0-3 coming into our last game against Aftermath. Went down 0-6 in a 1st to 7 game. We came back to win 7-6.
Yeah.
And we didn't get anything for it. There's nothing you get, but at least heading into the next tournament, hey, we still have something.
Yeah, you don't want to, jump off your hotel.
Right.
If that happens. Right. And that's really what it is. I mean, again, Oakland, they're a bunch of really good players, and it's just frustrating if you're them to have to, like, I had Rusty up here earlier, and, again, Rusty, wasn't able to practice, so you really can only expect so much out of an event like that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever gone to a tournament without practicing beforehand, and I could imagine that it's got to be pretty rough.
Yeah. But it's funny, though, I mean, you know, considering that being said, I mean, he didn't have a bad event,
Right.
you know, necessarily. It's not like he wasn't catching every paintball thrown his way. Well, the first game was rough, but, you know, after that,
He's
like,
a solid paintball player. He knows what to do.
well, he's been around forever, too. But still, that's not primo. That's not what you want to do.
And
It's not sweet.
That's just, definitely not sweet. But that's the Oakland's mentality, though.
Yeah.
They really do not like practice. And they have all the talent in the world. They have great sponsorship, but that drive to get up on Saturday and Sunday mornings is kind of faded a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, their collective years are deep.
Yeah.
Deep.
Even you look at someone like Glenn. Glenn's been on for a long, long time.
Yeah, and dude, Glenn Takamoto played more tournaments last year, I think, than anybody, man.
Yeah.
He's playing like 3 leagues or 4 leagues, just lawless travel.
Yeah, every time I went somewhere, I was like, hey, what are you doing here? He's like, well, I just got back from Greece or wherever else.
Yeah, he's been all over the place, man. All right, so we're looking at right now 5 alive for Infamous across the field, 5 alive for Impact. A pretty even spread, slightly better field position for Impact. See Thompson there trying to chop up downfield. Oh, able to take out, looks like Gino cross field. So Gino actually coming out of retirement to come and take LB's place on Infamous's squad.
Yeah, real life caught up with Gino, unfortunately.
Oh, look at this. Thompson shooting cross field, taking out Carl Markowski. Carl's the new lead singer in a band now in Toledo.
Yeah, I actually heard that. I heard they've been mixing some music and stuff.
Oh, nice move by Thompson. Taking out Steven Lasher, and there goes,
Put the hammer down on him right there.
Travis Szymanski's got a little limp going on.
That's never good to see.
No, not good. Yeah, there was like Tampa Bay loses 2 players to injury. Well, I don't know if El Yusuf's hurt for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, he didn't play another point after he messed his leg up.
Right.
He limped. He did some crazy dive, and it looked really bad, and then limped off and never came back on the field.
Really?
And he was a workhorse. Like, I mean, he was out there
Yeah,
like
he's been
running.
playing real well.
Yeah, he's been real well.
Yeah, he's playing real well.
You
They're
also-
losing Brian Smith too.
Yeah, what happened to his hand?
He said he was playing football in the off season. Fell, caught the wrong way, and now he's got these gnarly screws and pins just sticking out.
Dude,
everywhere.
it looks like bionic stuff, dude. Like literally, like coming out like here.
I saw it and I was like, oh, goo!
Looks like we got a replay. Let's check it out. All right, so this is Steven Lasher and Johnny Thompson. Johnny Thompson at the top of your screen. That's Steven Lasher at the bottom. And now Steven Lasher's looking inside, and Thompson's down the tape. Now, at this point, it was starting to go bad.
Yeah, at this point, there's really not much you can do except kind of defend yourself. You know, maybe Lasher catches Thompson and coming to get him, but, you know, Impact has the field spread. It's just not going to be good for him either way.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even best case scenario, he trades out with Thompson. They're still, 3-on-1, 4-on-1. It's just not.
Yeah.
Nothing good's going to come.
Well, we were going to have a replay.
Yeah.
But froze up. So, a little technical difficulty. But yeah, so Thompson able to stunt on Lasher, but that's a snake battle, back and forth, back and forth. You know, obviously you want to be given more welts than you're taking. Well, actually, who cares about the welts? It's more like kill shots, really,
Right.
because you're just gonna wear paint regardless.
Right.
So
Pretty much.
So we got about 25 seconds for the start of this next point. The score is 5-3. Got ourselves a match though. Just under 10 minutes, about a minute 20, or sorry, 9:21 left to play.
Yeah, it's a good game so far. I think if Impact stays aggressive in the snake like that, they'll be in good shape, to make a little bit of a comeback here.
So we got you guys coming up playing in 2 games. We got you playing Seattle.
Yep.
What are you looking to do? Obviously win, but you've been watching them play.
Yep.
Any thoughts?
Well, I think again we go back to that aggressiveness. I don't know if they have the depth at some of the positions. If they lose their first guy going down the snake, I don't know if they have the bodies to dump back in there. And the same thing on the Dorito side. Chris Wilson's been playing real well, but once he dies, then they just lock it up.
Yeah.
And I don't know how effective they can be locking the field up on, with the spots, the way it's set up, in the corners and the back center, the can and the back center. You can't really lock it up very long.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
there's no real locking up. I mean, you can slow people down,
Right.
but it's just not the field where there's too many spots to go to.
Right.
And it's not like dominant, super like ridiculous spots, but it's still a spot where you go stunt, like chill for a second, and then get your gun up and move again.
Right.
Especially if you're down bodies. So we're got a little conversation going on right now between Justin Cornell and Josh Davey. And that's Zane Yakmek there in the red mask. Impact at World Cup had an awesome story too.
They played unbelievably well.
Yeah, I mean, they played great, and they were running with like 7 guys.
Yeah. I think that did a lot for them in deciding what they were going to do this year, they were kind of on the fence a little bit about where they're going to play X-Ball. Did they have the players? What was going to happen? And then they came out and just smashed on people. So that did a lot for their confidence.
And it should have as well, you know. I mean, it was just cool to see Josh Davey running around shooting people on, like, that leg that it was all messed up.
It was bad, too, for a while.
Yeah, I mean, he, like, broke it bad. And then because it was broke so bad, his leg was so weak.
Mm-hmm. Even still, he still has a little bit of a limp to him.
Really?
Yeah, I saw him the other day. I was like, what happened, man? He sometimes his knee gets swollen a little bit.
So we're looking at the kill counts for Infamous, and, you know, Danny Tiljack just continues to go off. Looks like he got 7. Rusty Glaze with 5.
What's impressive about Danny's kill count, too, is the position that he plays. He's not, usually you would see like one of those snake guys get a lot of kills, or one of the guys goes down the middle, but Danny kind of plays a little bit of a deeper spot, but he always finds a way to get his kills.
That's Johnny Thompson again, and Steven Lasher doing battle on the snake side. And it's been interesting, but these guys are doing a good job of getting the snake. It's more their boys around them that are dying, you know? As we totally just jinx Steven, or no, I'm sorry, that's Arnold Francisco. So Arnold Francisco getting shot out of the snake. He's backed up by Carl Markowski. And that's the other thing they need to do with Carl is they need to get Carl all over the place.
Right.
You know, Carl can play any position, so.
You know, I don't know if I like Carl in that corner spot, though. Sometimes he likes to get stuck there.
Yeah, no, for sure. But, I mean, I do like the idea of Carl getting in a snake.
Right.
Because he's one of the, I mean, dude, when he played on Excessive, he was one of the best snake players I've seen on his good days, you know? Because he was so fast and real aggressive.
Yeah, he's fortunate enough where he can always rely on his physical ability to help him out in a situation.
Yeah. He overruns bunkers a lot, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're that fast, I guess that happens.
Yeah.
I don't have the problem, so.
So there's Thompson and Markowski now. Markowski looking across the field, and he's going to get run down. Nice job by Thompson.
And that wraps up that. It's a good move.
It was Cornell took a couple shots at Thompson. Thought he was somebody left alive in there.
Again, you got to punish him for stealing that glory.
Yeah. So Yakmek getting checked out. Zane getting checked out by Justin Cornell, and he's going to give it to Thompson. Maybe might have thought he got shot.
Got a little game now, 5-4.
Yeah, wow, look at this. Looked like it was all Infamous, and then Impact decided to wake up. Maybe they had a big lunch.
Yeah, I mean,
take a little time to digest.
You got to let it work through your system a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? So this is when it comes into coaching. You know, Posey needs to kind of pull something back, and whatever they're doing just isn't working. Come up with a game plan, a strategy somehow, and I wish I had an answer for him, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, it might be as simple as just stay alive right now because they're making the spots. You know, they're making the corners, they're making the Dorito side. Danny had kind of a sloppy move going to that Dorito 2 last point.
You can look at the frustration on Carl right there. A little angry.
Yeah, well, it's never fun to get bunkered.
No, it's no fun to get bunkered. It's also no fun to be, like, handling, and then all of a sudden everyone dies around you. I know that's happened to you a couple times.
Yeah, but I mean, I think one thing that we've gotten good about as a team is when that happens, we could always say, well, I should have done more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, why was I still laying there waiting to get bunkered? Maybe I should have gone downfield and tried to bunker somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's one thing that we've adopted, that policy, you know, fairly recently that's come off pretty well for us. Because long gone are the days of Frank Connell coming in and throwing pods and telling people. And I love Frank. I was actually just hassling about that the other day. I wrote a little article, like a little blog, and he's like, "You're always making me out to be like the bad guy." I'm like, "No, but you know, every character, every plot has to have, you know, a little bit of a villain, and you just, you know, they're most visible
and the most vocal."
Yeah. He's like, "Well, if you put it that way," I was like, "Okay, right."
Yeah. Oh, good old Frank Connell. He was entertaining.
Yeah.
Good at paintball too, man.
You know what?
He was good at paintball.
What
man.
made Frank
real
good though is he always thought he should have won. Doesn't matter. He always believed he should have won.
Yeah.
And that does go a long way. When you look at Oliver, I mean, he expects to win.
Oh, no. Yeah, Frank always expected to win, and I think that's probably what made him the player, you know, that he was / is. I mean, does he play it all anymore?
No, I actually just talked to him the other day, and he's here coaching a team from Florida. But I think he's trying to spend more time with his kids.
Oh, that makes sense.
So.
I mean, he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he was old when I started playing.
Yeah. All right, so the score 5-4 in favor of Infamous. You're looking at Impact breaking out right now. 7:27 left on the clock, and let's see if they can get out there alive on the snake side of the field. They're able to.
Slash making a good move in this game.
Yeah, so Slash and then immediately Glenn Takamoto getting out to that corner. There goes Thompson into snake one.
See, what Slasher needs to do now is win his battle. See, he's already got Thompson in. Now just make that next move around to the next snake. Work with Glenn. And once he makes that move, it's pretty much game over because they don't have the positions to lock him down. Get that kill on Josh Davey over in that Dorito corner. But I've been seeing this a lot where the people are just laying there posting down the wire, but I don't know what you're waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, they're waiting for him to peek out, but
Yeah,
it's like
I know.
if the guys, if you're out on him like that, either edge and keep 1 inch off his bunker or get up to the next one.
Exactly. See, my theory about this situation is if you're in the front and you're not shooting anybody, you're just sitting here waiting, your guys around you eventually are going to die. I mean, if you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just posting on the wire. I mean, it's time before somebody gets shot.
I mean, it's okay to post, but use that as something, you
Right.
use that as like, okay,
You're containing
and
somebody.
then edge out and then look for the next center stream.
Right.
If the center stream's not coming in, get up to the next bunker.
Exactly. See, nobody's on him whatsoever. He can go. He has free reign to come down, shoot the Dorito corner, maybe bunker Thompson, and put himself in a.
And it's not like they're up a ton of points or anything, you know.
Right. I mean, maybe that comes down to experience or coaching over there.
And now, and you look at that. So now he took all that time, and then now Impact has another player on this side as well.
Yeah. Now they're getting offense. See, everyone around him's dying. The Dorito side's dying.
Maybe Lasher's getting tired.
Yeah, that's a possibility. It is hot.
Oh, shot across field at Cornell.
Got a good shot in on Josh Davey, looks like. Who's that on the Dorito side? Carl?
Yeah, there goes Carl right there into the 50-yard line. Dorito's going to try to get a shot on whoever this new Impact player is. Who is that?
I have no clue. I know they picked up 2 or 3 guys for this year. So I know they picked up Philippe Guy from Shockwave.
His name is Warren Stanijowski. Sajowski. So Thompson takes down Lasher. Lasher trying to run the highway.
Oh, sloppy play right there.
Warren.
Not good situation.
Oh, wow. Warren getting a shot cross field on an overextending Carl Markowski.
Yes. That was a 3-on-2. It's now been turned into 2-on-1. Just
that
a
was
sloppy play.
Definitely an error by Carl over there. I don't really know if he knew the count or what he was trying to do over there. Definitely didn't know that Thompson was still alive, and then he walked right into Warren's ball.
You know, that was Carl's mistake. I put a little bit of that on Slasher too, though, because he, if you're gonna go get that guy, you just got to put a ball on him. You don't have to be pretty about it.
Yeah.
And in that situation, you don't have to stay alive. You put a ball on him. You put yourself in a 2-on-1 situation.
And then it was 3-on-1, or sorry, 3-on-2,
Yeah.
and then Thompson and Warren able to pull that out. So the rookie for Impact, Sajowski, able to step up with Thompson. Now, I respect Thompson a lot, man. After watching him play in World Cup, I didn't really know him before too much, because you would always hear about the Cornell and Davey,
Right.
and but man, he's just solid, dude. He was real solid.
Yeah, he's consistent. He does a good job of getting in there, and then working his way downfield.
So look at that. I mean, they pull off a 2-on-3 situation, and now we got a tie score, 5-5, with less than 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, it looks like Infamous, though, has been winning a lot of the early parts of each point. And then sloppiness. I mean, they're just not closing out games right. It's just simple stuff that over the years, all these guys know what to do, and I don't know what's holding them back right now. I wish I had a more poetic answer for it, but I don't. So I just don't normally expect to see something like that of Carl.
Well, yeah, and he's experienced enough to not be making those types of mistakes anymore.
When you say, hey, it's your first year playing pro, then you go, okay, well, here's your warning. But you've been on the scene for 4 or 5 years playing every weekend. You can't be running down out of the open like that.
Yeah, and that's why we have that new air stat, too. I mean, if you make an obvious mistake, we got to be recording that.
Ooh, you have that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Scary, though, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to be seeing that one. Have Jason and Graham hassling me about it.
All right, we got a replay on that last point. All right, so you're looking at, that's Thompson coming down here, and at this point it had basically Lasher kind of blew it by trying to trade out. But, I understand that move. But then Thompson had shot, or Warren had shot cross field, and you can see, look at Glenn. He's
just disappointed.
He's like, what's going on over here, man? Look, yells at his coach. Seriously? Are you serious? Look at him.
Yeah,
he's so frustrated. I'd be really frustrated,
I
too.
don't know if there's anything more he could have done in that situation. I mean, Carl and Slash, all they had to do was trade.
Yeah.
Trade and put 2-on-1 situation. Carl comes down the other side. Glenn holds the wire, and you went a 2-on-1. But that wasn't pretty.
Yeah, and I could be, if I was going to be getting frustrated, too, because Glenn has been on some winning teams, and he's a competitor. And like I said, honestly, I don't know too many people that play more tournaments than Glenn Takamoto.
Brandon Short's been playing quite a bit.
Yes, he has.
That dude's been all over the place.
Yeah, he's playing with Nexus, and
Yeah. Saw him in Australia. Went down to Australia this offseason.
How was that?
Oh, Australia's rad. I mean, it's like the coolest place in the world. The people are nice. I mean, I don't know what it is about Australia, but they just make nice people. That's it. Everyone's nice. The girls instantly go up a level based on their accents. So if they're a 6, they're now a 7 or an 8. So it's just a great place. People are nice. Mike from Action Paintball is an awesome guy.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, Australia's a beautiful country. Went down there when I was young.
Yeah, it's just weird though. Like we were saying, like Brandon, Glenn, everywhere they go, man. You think you're the only one there? Those guys are there.
Yeah. They'll be like, hey, we need you to play a tournament in Curacao in the rainforest. Be like, I'll be there. But you're the only pro coming.
Yeah.
You just roll up. Brandon's there chilling. What's up, Tim?
He just always finds a way to get there.
Who are you playing for? I don't know. So I got picked up by this team over here.
He's living the life, I guess.
Called Shorty's Heroes, you know.
I guess this game pretty much defines Infamous's weekend, though. Close, but no cigar, I guess. It's not over yet, but I mean they should have won it a little while ago, just based on the points that it looks like they're up on.
Yeah, I mean it's still anyone's match, obviously, because it's basically 0-0 right now. It's 5-5. It's all tied up. 4:20 left. There's a lot of time. However, you just see the wind coming out of Infamous's sails, and it's like, okay, we made our point. We scored 4 points. We're looking, we're up, but dude, the game's not over yet, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough fight home.
So there's Danny Tiljack out there. So it's just, and just in this game, Danny Tiljack has 9 confirmed kills, which is pretty impressive. He's played the most points by far, too. He's played 20 points total for this guys. Yeah. You see Impact trying to get out wide, not able to do it. There goes Glenn Takamoto.
That's a good fill by Glenn.
Yeah, nice fill by Glenn. He's running fast out there. There goes big fill by Josh Dave. He's going to try to make it over. I think he did, though. Wow, he had 2 people shooting at him, but they just flat out missed him.
But the ninja moves on him.
So Thompson and Warren coming off early for Impact. So it's just Josh Davey over here on this snake side of the field.
I think Arnold might have got a shot in on Justin.
Oh, look at that. Cornell coming off as well. So it's just Massey over there.
Arnold's working his way down the snake. Once he gets to that next knuckle, he'll be able to shoot who's ever in that can over there.
And Infamous playing a smart point, winning all their gunfights, shooting guys. They did everything right that point. Then Josh Davies just going to be like, hey, it's 5-on-1. Can somebody just blow that horn, please?
Yeah, that's the Infamous that I'm used to seeing.
Yeah.
Solid paintball.
Good point by Glenn. Nice point by Arnold. Pretty much everybody.
I wonder how much losing JR and not having LB here hurts them.
Well, I was talking to Rusty about that, and he said and maybe you could argue that he was just saying this just because he needs to say it, but he's like, it's not the same like back in the day when you're running with your boys and you lose one of your main guys and it's like, it was your boys, he's like, obviously he's always going to be my boy, but now it's like you get used to people changing teams. But with a guy like that's that impact of a player, you really can't say that about John.
Right. Yeah, you have, especially for this tournament, you lose arguably one of their best players, and you lose what's probably their captain between Travis and LB, so you lose half of that. Really not a good situation for them. So coming to this tournament, they're already down, backs against the wall a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just Infamous is a team that, I know all those guys are all my really good friends, so it just really kind of sucks to see them not perform how well that, to the level that they're used to performing at.
Yeah, especially guys like Travis. Him and Rusty have been winning tournaments for, like when I started playing paintball, really.
Oh, no, for sure. Travis and LB have been playing. They've been on a lot of. They started with Detroit Fusion, or first they started with Detroit Fusion, then they went to Detroit Revolution, then they went to Image, then Avalanche, and then
Miami Effect.
Yeah, the Miami Effect, and then Miami Effect became Infamous. So they've been at the top level since about 1999. Yeah,
quite a while. So they actually had a little bit of stop there where they merged. Remember with Bobby?
Yeah,
that was a little bit of a mess.
It's just so chaotic sometimes. We see the breakout right here. Let's see if Impact can tie this game up, because now Infamous 1 point away from getting their first victory. With 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, that's Thompson all the way into Snake 1. He's shooting crossfield. So Thompson now looking down that line, and if you're out that much, just get down there, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what to attribute. Maybe
they're finally moving up.
There you go. He's about to start getting some kills right here.
Yeah, he's chopping them up downfield. Lasher walks off. Tiljak walks off. There's just 2 of them left over on the Dorito side of the field, and here comes the new kid.
Getting some kills.
Yeah, Warren's all the way down on the infamous side of the field. Ooh, that's definitely a foot shot. A foot shot almost is like, hey, tuck your foot in.
Sometimes foot shots are right there with barrel shots, though.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. You know, like
they
don't really count. I mean, sometimes they do,
yeah.
but he definitely got shot in the foot right there. That's why you dropped that pod. Oh, whoops! I happened to drop my pod right by my foot.
Yeah, foot shots and barrel shots. Those are just kind of a little warning.
I remember, like, I can't remember who it was, but you know, it was on one of the some kid was bitching about, oh, I shot him in the foot. He wouldn't come off. I shot him like twice. I'm like, so basically you told him to put his foot back in.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like we practiced the Hurricanes, and Ryan shot a guy in the barrel, and he's like, I shot him on the barrel. He should have come out. I'm like, would you have come out? He's like, no, but I'm like, well,
it's a general principle.
Yeah, that's how it works, though.
So, wow, this is the maximum amount of points that can be played in a match. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're here at the Phoenix Open, PSP, 3rd game of the prelims, trying to see who's going to play on Sunday. Infamous struggled hard the first 2 days of play. They're 0-3, looking to try to salvage some sort of dignity. And, you know, putting up 6 points against Impact, but they really let Impact come back and get back into this game.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. They've had 2-3 points that they had locked up, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Just let them come back.
Yeah, so and basically now the rules have changed a little bit. You have 20 minutes of regulation play. There's no halftime, and it's a race to 7 points. So also the penalties have changed a slight bit. You got 1 minute minors, 2 minute majors, and majors stay up on the board the entire time until they click off, and minor penalties. Now, penalties haven't played a giant factor so far.
No.
Teams have been playing relatively clean. However, in one of the semi-pro games, it was R&T All-Stars playing Vicious. Very close match. R&T All-Stars, they were 0-2 coming into that match.
Right.
But they played great, except they had 3 major penalties.
Ooh,
and they still,
that's hard to win.
But they're playing Vicious, and they kept it close. Like, I mean, it was so bad that, and then some kid messed up and got a penalty at the last point.
Right.
You know, or second to last point. So they had to play the last point for the win down a body.
Yeah, that's never fun. It's fortunately, at least with I like the 1 and 2 minute better, because I think it takes a little bit of control out of the refs where, hey, maybe you made a mistake.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect the outcome significantly. Obviously, it plays into the game.
So, for sure. So on the do or die point right here, Arnold Francisco getting shot, the break, and then Glenn Takamoto getting shot. So the advantage is definitely in Impact's favor.
Yeah.
Josh Davey in the fingers, Hunting, Thompson in there as well, and he's going to get all the way to the 50-yard line. And now, it looks like
he's playing really well. He's had a lot. I mean,
yeah, Thompson's
really
playing
well.
solid, man. That's what I'm saying. I really respect that guy's playing ability. And he's going to tap out Travis Lemansky and Danny Tiljak. So, though it looked like they were going to win this match, they played really good in the beginning. Impact refusing to go quietly and stealing the victory away. So congratulations to Oakland Infamous, and congratulations to Impact. And you know, Infamous just going to go 0-4. That's just brutal.
Yeah, I can't think of the last time where they played this poorly. Yeah, this was definitely going to be a tough one for him to swallow. See Posey over there with a not too happy look.
Oh yeah, Posey is just downtrodden. Look at him.
Yeah,
hanging his head. I mean, what do you even say?
Really, not much you can say at this point.
That's one of those beatings where it's like, or you know, weekend beatings where you're just like, oh well, do we even really need to have a meeting?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing positive that we can say about this meeting.
Yeah, they're pros. I mean, they know they got to work something out. I mean, personally, my best advice would be, hey man, you got to get to practice sometime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that goes without saying almost, you know. But I mean, we got to say it though, you know.
Right. So hopefully they'll have a little bit stronger showing in Charlotte. Impact now, I guess, is in the mix. I think it'll be tough for them with a point spread that they have, but going 2-2 now puts them a little bit in the possibility. So I think they need to have Dynasty maybe get washed out. Maybe have Aftermath get a little thumping.
It's going to be interesting to see. We got Chicago and the Bushwhackers coming up next, so don't go anywhere. That's our next match. Should be coming at you in about 7 minutes. Waiting to see on the clock. They throw it up there how much time we got. But it's coming at you directly. Now, it's also going to be an interesting match. Obviously, if you're a Chicago or Bushwhacker fan, you should obviously stick around for that. But if you're not, you might want to stick around because those are two teams that have younger players getting in the mix. Yep. You know, so you're going to see guys that, though they've struggled this event, still, there's some good players in those franchises that you're going to be hearing a lot about in the future.
Bushwhackers look good this morning. Played Night Dogs. They look pretty strong. So they got a lot of aggressive players. Neil's always solid. So you're going to watch the development of a team. It's always fun to see.